I managed to play it by getting it through GameFly, and I love Shadow of the Colossus. And it was just really hard, and I didn't get into it, but I would like to play it again sometime.
I've got it.
I'm not talking
Because I
about
kind
Shadow
of
of the
feel I have
Colossus.
to.
I'm talking about Ico.
Yeah, I'm talking about Eco.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Eco.
about Shadow of the
How-
Colossus.
how-
Ico?
how-
Ico? I
That
don't
shows
know.
how out of touch we are, right?
All right, well, hey, real quick here. I've got the God of War 3 Special Edition open, and I have a plastic, what is it, Pandora's box that
Yeah, that's the
doesn't even look cool. The one real thing I liked is that I got a nice art book with bloody splatters on it and some awesome art, because I'm an artist, so I like this stuff.
I like looking at the art book.
It smells funky, kind of cool.
It smells funky.
And then, yeah, and then the inside of the box has grooves, and it's like matted with this nice fabric, so you can put all the game boxes for the God of War games in it. And I've got God of War 3, 1, and 2. It does not come with God of War 1 and 2 remix or whatever on the PS3. And I did get all the music. I got the entire soundtrack for all 3 games, plus the bonus songs that are like actual heavy metal. And those are cool, but I'm never going to listen to the God of War music. Maybe if somebody out there who wants to get into music and likes that stuff, yeah. Like, I listen to the Resident Evil music, but I don't know. It wasn't worth $100.
I think the biggest value I've had out of a collector's edition was probably Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yes,
like,
the
that was
fucking
pretty awesome.
safety deposit box.
I have that.
I
I'm
still
actually-
use that.
I use it now. Like when we
Yeah, I do too.
Put like
I have like a.
seats and shit, and I lock it up or put whatever the fuck in it. Also the bag, you know, the heist bag.
I totally forgot it came with a bag. I know it's.
Yeah, they
I
fit
got it
everything.
still
There's
somewhere.
little safe deposit box. They fit like they fit the soundtrack. They fit the game. They fit the art book. They fit the fucking like whole bag all in one, and it was a really nice decorative.
Funny thing, I still don't have the game, but I got rid of the game. I did not have that much fun with the game, but the safety deposit box was so awesome. I still use it.
I mean, I made a good, or someone made a good point. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put all my valuable stuff in this safe. I was like, well, yeah, but what's stopping anyone from just taking the safe? I mean, it's not exactly like a
Exactly.
big, like 200-pound thing.
But it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
I got value out of it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what else is coming out in 2011?
We did not cover Dead Space 2 properly yet.
I'm really looking forward to Dead Space 2.
Mm.
I don't know what they'll do new though. Really, I mean, I know they've said a few things and some stuff.
Here, well, a lot of people are probably like, well, what's the story? Because I hear that a lot, and I'm
It's
like,
basically
well, did you pay
Alien.
it?
I'm sorry. It's
If you
Listen to
pay
my
attention
story.
to the first one, and let me just recap it real quick.
Story-
You know the whole deal.
Follow.
The ship gets slaughtered by aliens, but this marker, this artifact, was found on the planet. They brought it on board the ship. Everybody started going crazy with it, and then they started turning into these monsters. That's the basic plot.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, one of the characters mentions that the one on the planet was human-made and put there secretively, and a different one was found on Earth. That's like, I guess, what they're going to expand on in the second one. And that's what I'm looking forward to, because I read the Dead Space book, and it's actually really deep, and there's a lot of cool stuff to it.
The Dead Space series has gotten some of the best promotion in any.
Didn't they have?
Like, I mean, with the movies, the
Right.
online comic, just
The books.
I never saw the Blu-ray movie.
books. It wasn't that. It was good, but it wasn't like amazing.
No.
The
mean,
movie
you
was
don't-
just an excuse for gore, which
Yeah.
generally that's what
Well, like,
horror is.
Drawn or whatever,
But-
or computer generated.
But Dead Space actually has a really good story, so it's like it doesn't need to rely on just.
It's just the story it's kind of in the background, so a lot of people are like, "Oh, it doesn't have a story."
To
It
be honest, the
does.
story didn't
Like, I-
interest me. I mean, the best thing I found with Dead Space was the sound. The sound was the best fucking part of that game.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree.
Oh, like anytime you go into a vacuumed out area, and it's like you just
Here's- I remember
all you hear is his
played
breathing
Dead
was
Space.
just.
I played it for the first time in like a long time, and there's a particular bit in the very beginning. You go down the elevator, you get your fucking plasma cutter, you shoot the shit out of something, you go up a corridor, you turn left, and you go like down this like ramp, and at the bottom of the ramp is some rubble where you can kind of see into the room ahead. And as you get near it, this like sharp violin sounds plays as something runs by, and you're like, "Fucking hell, that was awesome!"
Yeah.
And you go around that room, and you're like,
Actually,
"Fucking hell!"
no, not the first time. That was more like fucking hell. What the fuck was that?
Yeah,
God,
you go
fuck,
into the
damn it.
and then you think, yeah, this was the fucking room where it happened. Then you get closer and the shadow moves. He's like, holy shit, this is awesome.
No, Dead Space gave me my biggest boost scare ever, and it was not scripted. I really wish I had it recorded, but long story short, I was playing on the hardest mode, go into a room, and I go to leave, and I get jumped by 30 necromorphs. It was a lot, and I die. I go back in the room after the checkpoint, and I hear all of them outside, but they won't come in the room. So I'm like, Keith, man, my friend playing with me, he's like, hey, where are they? And I move to the door, and I've got my plasma cutter aimed at the door, and I'm sidestepping slowly, and one just, bam, pulls me through the vent. Like, I die. And I literally jumped and, like, went, shit! It was...
There's so many
It was
times where literally I literally like dropped the controller and like threw it up in the air just because it was like, oh my fucking Christ.
Biggest boost scare I've had recently, probably on surprisingly Singularity. You know that like
Singularity looks pretty
very
cool.
average kind of first-person shooter mixed with it's basically Bioshock and Fallout mixed
Yeah.
with like Half-Life gameplay. But anyway, you go under this door like there's no enemies. You've never seen an enemy for like the first 20 minutes, and you pick up a gun from like this like dead corpse. You go under a room like this. You crouch under this rubble to get to the outside, and literally the moment you turn right, this thing spawns in the map and jumps right in front of you, and you don't have a fucking chance. I wish I could like embed a video into this or something, but the first fucking enemy encounter in Singularity scared the fucking shit out of me. Like I shat golden bricks. Really, it was fucking horrifying. It just made me jump. Like I flick the mouse up in the air, and of course I'm looking up in the sky on the game, and I look down. He's like, no, 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 no. I'm like, what the fuck? It's fucking scary.
Okay.
Awesome game.
Let's see. Dead Space 2 multiplayer. What do you guys think about this? Or do you even know about
It's
it?
Oh, I know about it. It looks
unnecessary. I mean, yeah, well, I'm sure it'd be cool, but I just hope they don't like detract from the single player focus.
you know how
Well,
they're
if you-
doing it, right, Jack?
Huh?
You know what it is, right?
What do you mean? Go ahead.
The multiplayer?
All right. If you go on game trailers and look it up, they have an interview with the guys that are doing it, and they have a certain group of people in their development team that are just doing the multiplayer. Like, they're not even involved in single player. They're just,
Well,
bam,
they
doing the multiplayer, making sure it fits.
do that with most games, but I don't know.
Well, let me keep going. The basic premise is they promised us they have ruled out there is no player versus player, no necromorph versus necromorph. There's going to be 5 maps, and every map is 4-on-4, 4 humans versus 4 player-controlled necromorphs. And every map has different objectives for the humans to complete, like assemble the bomb, get through the door, hold out until the escape pods launch, stuff like that. It's all objective-based, and the necromorphs just got to stop the humans. And
Yeah.
they said that certain things, like you may see the unfinished objectives of the multiplayer security teams in the single player, and you'll see the mayhem and how it happened in the multiplayer. And I think that's kind of cool.
They don't like. I mean, I know nearer the time when it comes to coming release. I just hope they don't sort of say, "Oh, multiplayer this, multiplayer that." I hope it's a single player franchise, primarily.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
It's single
what-
player. At the
It seems
core.
like it seems like
I just
they're
get
trying to
every,
give.
every single fucking game now has to have multiplayer shoehorned into it somehow. It's like it just pisses me off. Like, can't you just make a single player game? And I know people who refuse to buy something unless it has multiplayer, regardless of quality.
Mm-hmm.
Chronicles of Rift,
Oh yeah.
the worst fucking excuse for multiplayer. Bioshock 2, for example, it didn't need multiplayer. And they were like advertising all this multiplayer, and then I think the GameStop promotional codes had like character skins for multiplayer. And the multiplayer was
Yeah,
just Bioshock.
I will admit that half of the games that do put multiplayer in the second entry,
Yeah.
half of it is just for money. But if you look at the Dead Space one, at least they're trying to keep it,
They're
they're trying
putting
to keep
some
it like,
thought
if
into
this
it.
is multiplayer, yeah. It's not just, oh, we put it in here so the Halo fans, have a reason to buy the game.
It's like
It's-
the people
we
who
wanna do it.
want to.
Well, what they should do is they
Yeah.
should either. I think they did it with they did it with Metal Gear Solid 3, the subsistence, like the re-release of
Mhm.
Metal Gear Solid 3. They did one disc for the online, one disc for the single player, and I think that was good. It makes it felt like 2 totally different things.
And same thing with
But-
Metal Gear Online on MGS4.
They kind of separated like 2 different games basically.
Yeah, like Metal Gear Online had its own like main menu. It's just you access
It was
from.
done
Metal
really
Gear
Yeah,
well.
I don't know about you guys, but even though I sucked at MGL, I played the crap out of it. I love
I
that
actually
game.
got really
So
good
fun.
at
know what?
it after a while,
When I
but
got
I
the text,
played it.
I really want to
just-
fucking play that again. I got pissed off though because for some unknown reason my account didn't work on the MGO, and then my character was deleted, and I couldn't get him back. And then I wanted to make something else, and it wouldn't let me, so I had to make another Konami account, and of course my game wasn't going to work with it. And then there was a thing you got to pay $5 to get another character. I was like, "Fuck you, Kojima." I was like, "No, I'm not doing it." So I never played after. But it's really good though while it lasted.
You know what, though? What I really liked is, I mean, a lot of people could say, oh, yeah, MGO wasn't that good, but I read that Kojima's initial plans was to sell MGO as a completely separate $60 game, and I said, no, do not do it. And thankfully, thank to God they didn't do it, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, some things they just don't seem necessary. Like I said, Bioshock didn't seem necessary to do it.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Silent Hill 8, I think?
it has potential, I guess. I think they've got better from each game with the Western ones. I think Silent Hill Origins was meh. I thought Homecoming was actually pretty good. I mean, most people seem to hate it.
Homecoming had hit and miss points all over.
It had
Like, at times it felt like Silent Hill, and other times it was total opposite.
I thought it had a better story and gameplay, but I was saying that the gameplay was kind of once you'd played it for 10 minutes, you was pretty much a master at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Homecoming was fucking tough, but it was the same mechanics over and over. They did nothing new throughout the whole game.
Yeah. But, watching the trailer for the new one, I gotta say it's already my favorite just for, like, I like the way the character looks, I like the setup. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, well, he either molested a child or he was framed, and I'm like, well, dude, it's gonna go one way or the other. He's either guilty or he's not. And then...
And it's Silent Hill, so you know he's guilty.
Yeah. I mean, I think that,
Be some weird cryptic, like, you know, real...
Yeah.
Can't read the fucking word.
I mean, you can tell it's going to be psychological because
Yeah,
he has problems.
that's
He's a prisoner. But what I really, really hope they do is, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in a street law class in school, and we took a field trip to a prison, and I wanted to get the hell out of there. That place was creepy as shit. The stories they told us, the way it looked and felt, I couldn't stand being a prisoner, and I totally feel for him trying to run away.
Life 2 is pretty fucking creepy.
Like in the rooms where they have all the jail walls to transfer people in, like you go here and lock you in, and these guys come in and they go through, all the concrete and all 6 floors of the building were stained red. You're not telling me that's all Kool-Aid, all right? I'm serious. Every floor had lots of dark red stained into the concrete. So, and this is just like your average normal prison. And the stories they told us, sounds like these people need to be in mental hospitals.
Yeah.
So I really hope they take advantage of that prison horror, you know, because Homecoming did not take advantage of the soldier horror.
No, I mean they use the same redundant locations pretty much found in every Silent Hill. There's like, you know, there was the hospital, and then there was the apartment, and then there was like the sewer, and it was just like, eh.
I have the only Silent Hill game I got into is 3. I know this is gonna be blasphemy, especially to Wesker. I fucking hated 2. I hated it so much. I could not fucking stand the game.
Huh?
You know, I will agree with you
get
too,
into the
Tad,
story.
A lot of people like to over exaggerate it, and
Yeah.
the game starts off real slow because you go through the apartments, and anyone who played the first game would be like, "Where's the mind fuck? Where's the crazy?" You have to get to the hospital. The game completely changes
That
its
mirror
feeling and mood
where
until the end.
No, where you see the mirror reflection of yourself and all the walls bleeding and shit.
No, that's 3. I'm talking 2.
Yeah.
No, I did not get to that point in the game. I just couldn't get to it. So I might have missed. But a game that really requires me to put like I'm okay with putting like in like a while to get into a games where it really gets good. But when it takes to the point where it doesn't even entertain me until a certain point, which is what Silent Hill 2 to me did to me.
Try it again and get to the hospital. Finish the hospital, and if you don't like it, then I can say you're not going to like it.
I mean, I think the story is incredible. I mean, the weird thing for me, I mean, maybe Taylor, you will agree, but Silent Hill 3, it's really strange. It's like a weird Silent Hill-ish kind of thing in itself. Silent Hill 3 had the better graphics, had the better gameplay, had the better sound. It had, like, in reality, better story, I think, in relation to...
Well, in gameplay, it was the same thing, so...
No, but in the game, it had a lot of... It was just more accessible. The gameplay was a lot...
Yeah.
The gameplay was a lot better. I mean,
like,
it had more fighting, the controls were a lot better, and yet somehow I still think 2 is better. I don't understand why, but... Yeah.
Let me kind of point this out here. I kind of see what you're talking about, because I think about this since I want to be a future developer someday. But if you think about Silent Hill 2, it was slow-paced, the other world was very dry and gloomy, and like it was bloody, but it wasn't rusty and gory and in your face, right? It was really slow paced horror.